I'm not having a go at parents because I mean I've been guilty of this. I've posted stuff of my kids over the years. After reading your book, I wish I could go back
Mm-hmm.
and not have been the person to take that away from them. That should have been their choice.
Mm.
But just going, if you can share some of the facts and some of the figures of like
Mm-hmm.
this idea of sharing thing that you talk about in the book, because I think it's really interesting to just make both teachers, because I think schools as well have a responsibility around this, but also for parents about what you think is a nice sort of innocent post about your child could actually have negative impacts in the future for them.
The first thing I want to say before I get into this is not your fault. Like
No,
for
no.
people listening, this is not your fault. This is such a new terrain, and I also think it's worth acknowledging for particularly for millennial parents. We ourselves went through our formative early adult years on social media, and we were
Yeah.
taught that we share our successes on social media. That was how you celebrated success. And what is a better indicator of our success than our children? And
Mm-hmm.
so we share our children with love. For the most parents are sharing children with love. And I want to say that I want to acknowledge that.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
there are ways to share safely. With that having been said, there are a lot of ways that parents are sharing in a way that is not safe.
Mm.
Um, and you're right that sharing, we speak so much about the unsafe things that teenagers do online, but it's estimated that by the time a child is 13,
Mm.
they have been shared, they have had close to, I believe it's 1,800 images of themselves shared by family.
Yeah.
And that sharing, you know, you're right, is not just starting from a first birthday or a baby picture or even the birth announcement, but rather a scan photo,
Mm.
positive pregnancy test. I mean, this is, we're sharing kids really early. And that has implications not just for children's safety right now.
Mm.
And, there have been campaigns around back to school photos where we share kids in their school uniforms outside of a front door on a public social media account. And that being hugely identifying for a child and potentially very helpful for child predators. So
Yeah.
there is concerns about children's current physical safety, and there are also concerns about their future safety in terms of their data selves.
Mm.
And Barclays Bank has come out to say that by the year 2030, two-thirds of the fraud cases will be carried out against children currently being shared when they reach adulthood. So
Mm.
that say data about children, which has already been shared by their parents, is being stored, and that data can be used against them in the future. That is because a birth date,
Yeah.
childhood pet name, the street you grew up on, this tends to be the information that we would need to commit identity theft.
Mm.
Unfortunately, most of that data has already been shared, but we can make better choices now.